What's up, everybody? It's your favorite hood healer. It's your favorite hood high priestess. It's your favorite motivational dominatrix. It's your favorite auntie, captain, goddess, king, LadySpeech, and the place to be. And I want to welcome you back to this here channel. You could be anywhere in the world, absolutely, positively anywhere in the world. As a matter of fact, you are somewhere in the world, and you're also sharing a little bit of time and a little bit of space with me. So thank you, thank you, thank you for that. Your time and attention is valuable, so thank you for spending and sprinkling a little bit of that on me. If you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, if you're feeling this, if you're feeling me, then make sure you hit the like button. It's waiting there for you to caress it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. That too is waiting for your attention. And last but certainly not least, the notifications bell, baby. You would want to hit that because that is your portal to having me whenever you want. I'm here for you whenever you press play, whenever you press replay. Now, let's get into today's video, shall we? All right, y'all. You know what time it is. As you can tell from the title and as you can tell from this here pink sparkly background, we are in for another installment of dun 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 dun. Ask LadySpeech. That's right. This is the segment on my channel where I answer questions that are asked of me. As of right now, I am getting the most back and forth engagement on TikTok. You guys are asking me the juiciest questions and on a regular basis on TikTok. So this is where most of these questions are coming from. However, if I do question and answers on IG, if y'all ask me questions on Facebook, I will definitely answer them. So first and foremost, we'll be getting to the meat and the potatoes, the juiciness of it all. If you are looking for some quality content to follow on TikTok, go ahead and hit your girl up. I talk about a lot of witchy things. I make some jokes. I display a little bit of my dominatrix side. So my TikTok is LadySpeech Sankofa. If you are looking for a little bit of quality content to follow on Twitter, add me, baby. If you're on Twitter, well, I'm on Twitter. Let's be friends. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not as consistent as I would like to be on Twitter. I'm working my Twitter fingers up. But I be on there, If you are on Facebook, I know how archaic, but if you're on Facebook, you can hit me up on Facebook as well. I have an artist page. That artist page is LadySpeech. So search it, follow it, like it, and get updated about things and all that good stuff. So that is where you can find me. That is where you can ask questions, and of course you can always feel free to ask questions on this here YouTube within the comments in the videos or on my community post, as long as they kind of match, you know what I'm saying? Just don't come out the blue, don't come out far left field, don't come out of far left field. Now let's get into today's Ask LadySpeech. All right, y'all. Today's video is inspired by two things. Number one, the comment that the question that I'm going to read to you. And number two, the video that this question was under, okay? So I was inspired to do this video because of the overwhelming response that I got under the video that this comment or this question comes from, okay? And then the comment was asked right before I was actually setting up to do this video, and it flowed right. I thought, hey, let's kill two birds with one stone, okay? So first off, I'm gonna read you the question, and then I'm gonna break down what the video was that this question was to. So first off, the question is, if you don't mind me asking, how did you internalize this? How did it affect you as an adult? I hate that our elders didn't know how to protect us, okay? I'm gonna read the question again. If you don't mind me asking, how did you internalize this? How did it affect you as an adult? And I hate that our elders didn't know how to protect us, okay? So that's the question. I'm gonna break down the video, and then I'm gonna read the question one more time, and we're gonna get into it, all right? So What this question was under was a video or a stitch that I did that I saw a couple days ago, and it had been heavy on my mind. So the stitch was the original video, and what a stitch for is, for those of you who are not familiar with TikTok, when you're on TikTok, you can stitch a video, which means you can, if you see a video that you want to respond to or add something to, you can take a piece of their video and then stitch your response as if you were stitching together clothes. You can add your response onto the video. So the stitch that I chose was the stitch of a sister, a black woman, who asked the question, when was the first time, or what was it? Let me go back to the actual TikTok. It says, what's something that was considered fast as a black girl? So real quick, let me break down what I mean when I say fast, okay? In the black community, especially back in the day, I know they still say this terminology a lot, and you know, in places, but especially back in the day, I remember one of the worst things that can be told to you as a black girl is that you were acting fast. And what acting fast means is that you were acting wantonly. You were acting sensually. You were acting sexually. You were acting in that space and you're not supposed to. You're acting fast. You're acting like one of the ladies of the night, you know? Slut culture, slut shaming culture to its finest, all right? So again, the sister asked, what's something that was considered fast as a black girl? And my immediate response was walking. 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 The first thing to be policed about my body, one of the first things to be policed about my body, I should say, one of the most vivid and consistent things that was policed and sexualized about my body was my walk. I was consistently told, I can remember from at least 4 to 5 on, to watch how I walk, to watch my sway, that I'm switching my butt. I was consistently accused of trying to entice older men, entice men. I was consistently told to calm down with the way that I walked across the courtyard, across the kitchen, across the playground, my walking. The crazy thing about this is this isn't new for a lot of us. This isn't new. Also, the crazy thing about it is I remember being that age and not really understanding what they meant because I was literally just walking. I was walking. I happened to be one of those kids who had a little bit of shape to their body, as some kids do, because humans come in different shapes. And we developed, our different parts of our body develop at different aspects. I happened to be a little girl who had a little bit of shape in my lower region. It wasn't something that I didn't know how to use it to seduce anyone. It literally, my body was my body, and I used it to maneuver around the earth. I used it to maneuver around my world. That's it, that's all. Simple and innocent. And yet I was objectified and I was sexualized by damn near every adult in my space. I was told my walk was policed. That only increased. It only increased as I got older. It only increased as I got older. And before we get too deep in it, let me read the question. So I just told you what the original video was. Let me go back. I said I'd read the question again. And the question is, if you don't mind me asking, how did you internalize this? How did it affect you as an adult? I hate that our elders didn't know how to protect us. So this person is asking me how I internalized the policing of my walk and how did it affect me? Well, my answer to that is it changed the way I walked. It literally changed the way I walked. Till this day, I have about 4 or 5 different walks, and I have to check in. I literally have to check in to walking a regular way. I literally have to check in to walking a regular way. My default walk, which is actually bad for my feet, I really checked into that and discovered that a couple of years ago, how bad my walk is for my feet. I modified my walk to be, so that I wouldn't be sexualized to the point where my feet are messed up because I don't walk correctly on a regular basis. It affected me. This is something that, you know, in a lot of my videos, you will hear me say a lot that healing is a journey, not a destination. And this is one of those reasons why I say that. This is something that I have been unpacking. This is something that I looked at years ago. This is something that I've worked with my healers. This is something that I consistently work on, and I am still affected by it. I'm still affected by it. I'm still very much affected by it. Let's talk about the adultification of Black girls from a personal perspective. What do I mean when I talk about the adultification of Black girls? Number one, there are plenty of articles on this, so feel free to utilize the holy hell out of your Google, okay? But to break down briefly what the adultification of Black girls is, it is literally adultifying Black girls. There is a phenomenon that happens globally due to misogynoir, due to anti-Blackness, rooted heavily in colonialism and in colorism. There is this idea and there is this process that happens with young Black girls that robs us of our childhood. Young Black femmes, young Black girls, young Black women are often made or put into the positions of adults well before our age. We are Jezebeled by the time we are 9. We are sexualized. We are treated as if we are grown women in tiny bodies. We are adultified. We are adultified. We are made to take on roles in our families and our communities that should exclusively be for adults. We are, it is easy to justify the rape, the molestation of young Black girls when we are adultified. The adultification of Black girls is one of the reasons why missing and murdered Black women are rarely talked about in the news. It's the reason why it's part of the reason why so many Black girls who come up missing, who are sex trafficked, are never seen, never heard from again, never looked for, never thought about. It is the reason why the adultification of Black girls is the reason why Ma'Khia Bryant, the young woman who was recently executed by the police on the day, less than an hour, 30 some minutes after Derek Chauvin was found guilty. It is the reason, the adultification of Black girls is the reason why her death is being justified. Even though she was a 16-year-old child being harassed on a regular basis and a consistent basis by adults. The adultification of Black girls and Black women leaves us vulnerable for predators, and that's exactly why the adultification happens. This is rooted in enslavement. This is rooted in the process of enslavement. Some of our elders, you know, part of this lady's question was, I hate that our elders didn't know how to protect us. And you know, for some of our elders, policing our bodies was their way to protect us, even though it was very much rooted in misogyny, even though it's very much rooted in misogynoir, even though it's very much rooted in white supremacy and colonialism. This was their only way to try to protect us. And for other adults, for other elders, this was their way to reinforce, to uphold the tenets of misogynoir. It was a way to uphold the tenets of toxic patriarchy, fragile masculinity, and white supremacy. So these actions oftentimes exist in this dichotomous, double-edged sword energy. Walking. Being policed for walking, being told that I was enticing men was crazy. it played havoc on my mental. It was a form of gaslighting, telling me I was doing something that I had intentions towards doing something I wasn't even thinking about. It was destructive and it was damaging. I want to go back to why I wanted to do this video, past the question that was asked. I wanted to do this video because I did not expect the response. I wanted to do this video because I did not expect the response. I know this happens to other Black women. This is a conversation I've had with many friends. I know that this happens with other Black femmes. This is things that as a sex educator I've talked about for years. As a womanist, as a Black feminist. This is something I've been aware of for years, and I was still overwhelmed by all of the responses. So I'm going to read some of the responses to you because they deserve to be heard, and I don't think some of you understand what it is for Black women, what it is for Black girls. So under this stitch where she says, what's something that was considered fast as a Black girl? Here are some of the responses. Breathing. This one says, yes, hell, I got shit for how I sat. Big thighs meant that naturally my knees don't touch to them. And to them, I was showing the world my goods. Same thing. I grew up with under the heavy influence of a Southern grandmother and under the regime and the cult energy of Jehovah's Witnesses. So your knees needed to touch. You needed to literally be able to hold a nickel between your knees. And if you weren't doing that, you were being indecent. 15-year-old me sitting there minding my own business, and my granny says, what you thinking so hard about, girl, boys? And she says, ma'am, I just can't think thoughts. People assuming that you are only thinking about boys or the opposite sex when that's not on your mind. This person says, oh man, my walk, short, shape, overdeveloped, tall, my eyes. It's no wonder I had body issues. Someone said, standing. They used to say I was arching my back too much. I'm just standing, man. I got a dip in my back, sorry. And that had 5 comments under that. The first comment said, me with scoliosis. The second comment said this. The third comment said, I remember in grade school, the nurse tried to get me to stand up straight because my back arch. Said I stood wrong. Someone said, as soon as you said walking, I knew they told you to stop switching, as if you had control of that or even thought about it. So this goes back to the phrasing that I said before about stop switching. And you know, these tears that are coming to my eyes right now are me mourning so many of these moments for myself, and me mourning so many of these moments for fellow Black women. And how so many of them understood exactly what I was about to say before I said it, or understood the depth of what I said without even having to get into it. This TikTok video was 60 seconds. My part of it was probably 50 seconds. And in that 50 seconds, the little bit I said, so much was said, and so many Black women understood exactly what I had gone through and what I was talking about. Let's keep going. Red nail polish. That response showed up at least 5 or 6 times. Red lipstick as well. They said, that is so true. Walking was mine too. Exactly. But my mother told people that I'm a young girl, mind and spirit. Thank you, Mom, for backing me up. So this is one of those rare responses where she was told by other people that, you know, she needs to fix her walk, but her mother responded correctly, protected her, had her back, let them know she's a little girl. She's not a woman. She's a little girl in mind, body, and spirit. She's a little girl. And someone under that said, it's sad that black girls are always over-sexualized. The men nasty and some women are jealous. This one, hanging with the boys. I was and still and am a tomboy, so I hung with boys. I was never comfortable around females when I was young because, and then they didn't finish it, because there was always drama with them. My mother told me that I was being fast because I hung with boys. This is the one for it was the walk, and I only had brothers, so I was always being fast, but only wanting to hang out with boys. Yeah. Someone said, child, people don't understand how you develop early and adults make you feel like it's your fault. Someone else said, in my Cat Williams voice, everything, I mean everything. Exactly. Someone said, when you said walking, I just knew you was talking about people telling you to stop switching. I had that problem in my teens too. See? Switching. Oh my God, same. My mother spent years trying to train me not to walk, trying to train me not to walk like a boy. Then everyone else called me fast for switching. So then she is taught. That comment speaks to a lot. Comment speaks to the fact that women, girls, black girls, all girls are taught to be hyper feminine. We're taught to be hyper feminine. We're taught to be, and especially with black women, we are told to be hyper feminine. And then people are talking about our masculinity if we are inclined to that in any way, shape, or form. But as soon as that femininity is shown, as soon as we show up in our femininity, we are attacked for it. It said, I'm so grateful we're talking about this more because it needs to stop. Thank you for using your voice. This person says, I have a well-developed daughter who is 5 and I feel this in my soul. Stop pitting her in leggings. She's 5, y'all. So she's got a 5-year-old daughter. She's put this little girl in leggings and people are over-sexualizing her. They're telling her not to put her daughter in leggings. She's 5. There's nothing sexual about this little girl wearing leggings. We have, let's see, I completely understand. I dealt with the same thing. Someone said, truth, I used to get beaten for having a natural sway when I walked. This one says, this is a, I don't know what race she is, but she says, I always thought it was weird when I would hear people say that to black girls. I never heard that in my house, but I knew it felt wrong to say this. Looking at her picture, she looks like she's black. So out of all of these comments, this was the first, and I've skipped more than a few. So this was the first comment in a slew of comments where there was a black girl who's just like, that didn't happen to me, but I heard it happening to other black girls. Someone said, why you switching so hard? Red nail polish, red lipstick. Apparently they were meant for women of the night. This one said, I was told that by other kids. One person said, woo child. This person said, girl, I'm right there with you. I lived with my white grandma. There was no understanding that I'm just built like this. In poor areas, sometimes all there is to do is walk. Sooner or later, you catch up with the other kids to walk with. Girls were called fast for walking. This person said, to this day, I can't wear certain dresses without a shirt or a hoodie around my waist because of this, shaking my head. This person said, I started my period at 5.5, so yeah, this was exactly how I grew up. My double D's in 3rd grade were always the problem, always. This person, hormones put them in their period at 5.5. They had big breasts by the time they were in grade school, and they were made to feel like they were the problem. They were the problem. Let's see, someone said, my eyes, apparently they draw you in. Walking, standing still, my whole ass childhood, body, speaking, at this point, existing was fast. This person said, having my hair straight without curls or bumped at the end like the curl was protecting my innocence. Someone said, I knew you were gonna say stop switching before you said it. Had me walking like I was on eggshells for years. Someone said, girl, you lived my life until I was told that my natural sway was just the grace I carry myself with. Hashtag Mama Angelou. Someone said, okay, so the more I think about the adults in my life, it sucks. The more that I think about it, the adults in my life suck so much. Yep. Someone said, it was talking for me. I was always told to speak when spoken to. They meant it literally in my house. Someone said, say it again, sis. By the way, when I watch your vids, I automatically get Nell Carter energy and I love it. Oh my God, thank you. I didn't read that part. Thank you, shout out, Nell Carter. Someone said, oh my God, yes, I literally hate hearing, why do you walk like that? Someone said, I'm still messed up to this day because of these old-fashioned ways. So this was a lot. I'm not gonna take you through anymore. But this is to really get you to see. And how many comments were this? This was 722 comments. This is 722 comments. 722 comments. And most of these, 95% of these are Black women speaking and affirming this reality. The adultification of Black girls, the parentification of Black girls is disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And from a personal perspective, it wreaks havoc on you. The fact that I have to check into walking naturally, that I have to check into it, that I have to remind myself to walk naturally, and that my feet are messed up. I have a foot problem to this day because I altered my walk to not get attention. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. And all of this is rooted in white supremacy. All of this is rooted in white supremacy. So many of our parents policed us and regulated us and tried to tame us and tried to dampen our energy and to shorten us, to package us in for our safety so we wouldn't get noticed, so we had the chance to live a little bit longer, so our innocence could be taken care of. And so many of our parents, so many of the adults in our lives just got in that mind state and stayed in that mind state. They stayed in the mind state of stay small, shut up, don't speak, don't get yourself, don't cause yourself attention. So many of them stayed in that. And I am righteously angry at all of them. And I also hold so much compassion knowing that what was done to me was done to them. And in some cases, so much worse. I offer them no excuses, but I do see every legitimate explanation for how and why we got here. To every Black woman, to every Black femme, to every Black girl who is watching this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry we have to go through this. I'm sorry. And this is honestly the reason why I speak. This is the reason why I do what I do. Because my little Black child voice was silenced. It's unfair. When y'all hear me consistently talking about pay Black women and femmes for our labor, I'm talking about things like this. Every ounce of the labor that we put in for you, every ounce of work that Black women, that Indigenous women, that Black femmes, that Indigenous femmes put out for you, it comes steeped in these experiences. It comes steeped in all the healing work we've had to done to be well. It's heavy with our love and our experience. Every piece of labor you receive from us carries weight. Misogynoir, it affects every aspect of our life. It infects every aspect of our life. It shows up on the tongues and the mouths of our mothers. It shows up in the arms of our brothers. It shows up in the treatment of our fathers. One of the things about I was overwhelmed with that video was how many Black girls and women hadn't even thought about it. And when they saw the video, they were triggered, and it brought up so many memories. And it made me think about how Black women and Black girls and Black femmes and Black gay people, and Black trans folks, how we go through so much trauma from the moment we are conceived that there's so much that we don't even register. It comes to a point where there's trauma that you can't even register as trauma. You just register it as life. And there's these moments that happen when that gets triggered and it gets challenged, and you're forced to look at something you were not thinking about as trauma, and then you're all of a sudden forced with that was very much trauma. Walking. The next time you go to police a Black woman about what she's wearing, be her a fat Black woman, a trans Black woman, a short Black woman, a dark Black woman, don't. The next time you go to police a Black woman's tone of voice, her attitude, the way she's presenting something, the way she's speaking, the way she's being, don't. We are literally policed from the breath we take, the way we comb our hair, the way we walk. We're policed from the moment we get here. You wonder why so many of us have attitudes when you talk to us crazy? Because we've been talked to crazy all our lives. And many times the first people to talk to us crazy was our own family. To every Black girl, to every Black woman, to every Black femme who's been through this, thank you. Thank you for surviving. I say this to myself too, to my elementary self, to my middle school self, to my high school self, thank you. To my early 20s self, thank you. To my early 30s self, thank you. Because you wanted to get off the planet a lot. This world has shown you how much it doesn't like Black women and Black femmes and free Black people, and you keep deciding to stay here. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate every Black girl, every Black woman who continues to just push. Because that's revolution. That's evolution. Healing is a journey. It's not a destination. I will spend the rest of my life focused on thriving, focused on living my best life, focused on decolonizing, focused on re-indigenizing, focused on repairing. Some of this damage is bone deep. A lot of this damage is DNA deep. And I'm going to do my best to make sure that I not only put a dent into this ancestral healing, but I don't leave too much trauma behind for the next generations to have to heal. Thank you, Black girls, for surviving. Thank you, Black women. Thank you, Black femmes. Thank you, Black trans women. Your life and your body matters. I'm so sorry the adults in your life did not have the right words. I'm so sorry you were made to hold the energy of these adults. I'm so sorry that They made their problems your problems. I'm so sorry that these people, that these adults policed you and not these men in the family that were molesting and not these women in the family who were toxic. I'm so sorry that they policed you, that they made your little body and little psyche hold that energy. I'm so sorry you were over-sexualized. I'm so sorry. You did not deserve that. And I pray you are walking towards your healing every day. I pray. And I thank you. I thank you. I thank you for surviving. All right, y'all. If you made it to the end of today's video, gold star for you. This was a heavy one. This was a heavy one. And I'm thankful that I did it. I definitely caught a healing from doing this video, and I know anytime I watch this video, I'm gonna catch a healing, and I hope and pray that this has been healing for someone else out there. If anything else, this conversation needs to be had. It needs to be had on a regular basis, and we need to do something about it. The adultification of Black girls and femmes leads to so much violence in our lives. So if nothing else, I'm glad that this is out here. Share with who you need to. Use this as a starter conversation with people in your life. Use this to look inside of you and figure out where and how you can be better to and for Black women and girls. And if you're a Black woman, girl, or femme, if this sparked anything in you, I pray you have every resource to heal. Thank you for following. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for supporting my work in any way, shape, or form. Thank you for those of you who throw things in the collection plate. Always feel free to show your financial appreciation. The Cash App is LadySpeech. The Venmo is LadySpeech Sankofa. The PayPal is LadySpeechSankofa@gmail.com. I'm enjoying doing this series, and some heavy things are coming out of this series, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it. These questions are an opportunity for me to educate, and also they're an opportunity for me to heal. They're an opportunity for me to address some things within myself. And they're an opportunity to share my full humanity with you. So, thank you for watching, and thank you for asking the questions. On that note, just in case no one has told you today, you are beautiful, you are valuable, you are amazing, and you are strong. Thank you for surviving everything you have survived. Your presence on this planet is needed now. You go out and you have yourself a good day, a good morning, a good evening, a good afternoon, a good mid-morning, a good mid-afternoon, a good middle of the night. You have yourself a good week, a good day, a good moment, a good month, a good year, a good decade, a good life. And I'm going to try my best to do the same. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.